One day Samson went down to the Philistine town of Timnah. He noticed a young and attractive Philistine woman. He went back home and told his father and mother.
There is a Philistine woman down at Timnah who caught my attention. Get her for me as my bride. I want to marry her.
His father and mother protested. Why do you have to go to those heathen Philistines to get a wife? Can't you find someone in our own clan, among all our people? But Samson told his father,
She is the one I want to marry.
His parents did not know that it was the Lord who was leading Samson to do this, and creating an opportunity to work against the Philistines. So Samson went down to Timnah with his father and mother. As he was walking through the vineyards, a young lion suddenly attacked Samson. At that moment the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon Samson. He tore the lion apart with his bare hands, as if it were a young goat. But he did not tell his parents what he had done. When Samson arrived in Timnah, he talked with the woman, and was very pleased with her. A few days later Samson went back to marry her. On the way, he turned off the road to Timnah to look at the carcass of the lion he had killed. And he was surprised to find a swarm of bees had made some honey inside the dead body. He scraped the honey out into his hands and ate it as he walked along. Then he went to his father and mother and gave them some. They ate it. But Samson did not tell them that he had taken the honey from the dead body of a lion. His father went to the woman's house to make final arrangements for the marriage. Meanwhile, Samson threw a party as it was a custom. When the bride's parents saw this, they selected 30 young men from the town to be his companions. Samson said to them,
Let me tell you a riddle. If you solve my riddle during these 7 days of the celebration, I will give you 30 fine linen robes and 30 sets of festive clothing. But if you can't solve it, then you must give me the same 30 robes and 30 sets of clothing.
All right.
They agreed.
Let's hear your riddle.
So Samson said,
Out of the eater came something to eat, and out of the strong came something sweet. What is it?
1 day, 2 days, 3 days later, and they had still not figured out what the riddle meant. On the 4th day, they said to Samson's wife,
Trick your husband into telling us what the riddle means. If you don't, we'll set fire to your father's house and burn you with it. You only invited us so that you could rob us, didn't you?
So Samson's wife went to him in tears and said,
You don't love me. You just hate me. You told my friends a riddle and didn't tell me the answer.
He said,
Look, I haven't even told my father and mother. Why should I tell you?
She cried about it for the rest of the celebration. She kept nagging Samson. On the 5th day, the 6th day, and on the 7th day Samson gave in and told her the answer. Then she explained the riddle to the Philistine young men. So before sunset of the 7th day, the 30 men of the city went to Samson with the answer to his riddle.
What could be sweeter than honey? And what could be stronger than a lion?
They said gleefully. Samson was furious.
If you hadn't been told this by my wife, you would never have come up with the answer.
Now he owed them 30 robes and 30 outfits of fine clothes. Then the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him. And he went down to the Philistine city of Ashkelon, where he killed 30 men. He stripped them of their clothes, and gave them to the men who had solved the riddle. But Samson was still furious about what had happened. And he went back home to live with his father and mother. So his wife was given in marriage to the man who had been Samson's best man at the wedding. To find out what happened next, go to part 3, Samson's revenge on the Philistines.